288 or Google Bedford Bingo.
The stunning Glenewan estate in the foothills has a reputation for staging the finest weddings, hosting professional conferences and providing a backdrop for impressive private functions. But that's not all they're renowned for. Glenewan Estate is also home to Willibrand figs and sells a range of mouth-watering gourmet products from the fruit of 12,000 fig trees grown on the property. To find out more, visit glenewanestate.com.au. That's glenewanestate.com.au.
The 5AA Breakfast Show.
The news,
The issues.
Devastating scenes coming out of Oklahoma. Let's head to the US.
Richie, what can you tell us about what happened at the Plaza Towers Elementary School where a number of children have died?
Damien Britton was at that place, and he recalls how the teacher laid down over the kids to protect them.
We had to pull a car out of the front hallway off a teacher, and I don't know what that lady's name is, but she had 3 little kids underneath her. Good job, teach.
The 5AA Breakfast Show.
weekday mornings from 6
On 1395.
Adelaide's 5AA Interactive Radio.
Call 8223 0000.
Peter Godfrey.
17 minutes past 5. Let's take a look at the news from other parts. New Zealand, we're heading to across the ditch. Selwyn Manning from livenews.co.nz. How are you this morning, Selwyn?
Oh, very, very good, Peter.
That's
Thank you very much.
good to hear.
Warm and dry.
Oh, that's good. We're a bit cool and damp here, but
Okay.
we'll get on to weather because you've had some wild stuff yet again over there, so we'll get on to that shortly. But another controversy. We've had a few controversies you've discussed with us in recent weeks. This one involving your police commissioner has had to apologise over a police operation. This goes back a couple of years, doesn't it?
Yes,
a raid on suspected terrorists. So give us some background on it.
Yes. There's been an Independent Police Complaints Authority report that was issued yesterday. It was released to the public, and what it does is it says that the police operated in an unlawfully, unjustifiably and unreasonably fashion during the raid that they orchestrated back in 2007. Now, this raid that we're talking about here was supposedly to knock out terrorist cells, nationalistic type terrorist cells in the Urueta area of the North Island. That's around the East Cape, or just inland from the East Cape area of the central North Island. Now, what had come to pass there was the police anti-terror groups and squads, they descended on the place at dawn in 2007. Helicopters, the whole works, in their riot gear, etc. Sniper rifles all over the place. Now, the Police Complaints Authority report did not criticise them necessarily for their investigation, but it criticised them extensively on the methods that they used once they were in the small community, particularly of Ruatoki. What we're talking about there is children, very young, right down to toddler age, and the very elderly were detained in homes, basically shivering with fear. There's video and recorded evidence of all of this, just absolutely terrified at what was happening around them. The whole community, we're talking a whole town, actually nailed down by the police in this manner during that particular raid. Now, at the end of the day, Peter, a whole squad of people, really, a whole group of people were arrested all over the country, from Auckland right down into the South Island on that morning. At the end of the day, only 4 individuals ended up being convicted of any crime, and it all boiled down to allegations of illegal possession of firearms, etc., etc. Now, there were obviously strange things going on in the ranges leading up to this police raid. The police are not being criticised necessarily for going and having a look at it. Those odd things involved members of this particular group, loose associates, apparently being trained in military-style manoeuvres, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, like I was saying, the courts did not rule that there were anything alluding to terrorist activity going on. Okay,
and that, all right. So the police commissioner has apologised for that?
He has a conditional apology.
Okay.
What he is saying here, and I'll cite from the New Zealand Herald. Now, the police commissioner's name is Peter Marshall, and he he did a lot of work up in the Solomons as one of the top cops up there during the Ramsey period. Now, he has apologised for the mistakes, but not the investigation. And he says here that the police stand by their investigation. They're quite happy with that. He says, we absolutely think the right thing was done in terms of the investigation, but he says we made mistakes, we went in there in good faith, and we got it wrong in a few areas in Ruatoki. He says it shouldn't have happened. It did happen, and we apologise. Now, that's obviously a conditional apology. Some people are not satisfied with that. Some people are saying that those who were arrested and basically were terrorised during that day and later on, and also detained for long periods of time in custody, not just for the day but ongoing for months, that they should receive compensation. The Independent Police Complaints Authority chairman, he's a man called Sir David Carruthers, and he said the police operation as well, he said it was justified, but the officers acted, and this is where we use that quote, unlawfully, unjustifiably, and unreasonably in establishing roadblocks and detaining and searching some people during those raids.
What is there going to be any follow-up on this? Will procedures be changed to prevent it happening again, or is the apology the end of it? Well, the
police say that procedures, that they have learnt from these mistakes already, that they have improved their tactics that they use during such operations, and that they are more compliant with the law that is existing at the moment, that equips them to be able to respond in a particular way like this when they suspect that terrorist activity could or has been taking place. They also I should just regress there for a moment. The police tactics that they used relating to surveillance on the group was found in the High Court when some of the cases went to court, was found to have been outside the law, and a lot of evidence was actually potentially going to be dropped out of the court considerations. The government, the National League government at that time, moved swiftly to retrospectively, at that time, make that form of surveillance that they were doing legal, so that the information could be presented before the courts. So there's all sorts of things that have gone on as a consequence of the tactics that we used during this particular raid. The police are assuring everybody that they've got it all together now, and I guess the confidence factor in the public is one where there's big question marks around that.
Okay. You mentioned some aren't accepting the police commissioner's apology. So what areas are those coming from that are not accepting it?
From mainly the Māori activist groups, and also those who support the activities that were going on there, in the sense that they were saying that this was not intended to train people up for terrorist activity, that it was merely one for discipline and that type of thing. Now, people are saying that the groups around the Ruatoki area in particular are saying, look, our children were terrified. That was the police that were the terrorists that particular day. It wasn't the civilians in this town. And they're saying that it's just unacceptable for there to be conditional apologies being issued.
Okay. Is any compensation likely or pursuit of that?
I'd say it was absolutely doubtful under this particular government. There isn't a sympathy for it with the National League government. Okay,
all right. Let's get on to your weather. Some wild times again. A huge number of lightning strikes. First of all, that was yesterday across New Zealand? Huge number.
Yeah. We're really in the grip of winter weather over here. Over 1,000 lightning strikes were recorded all over New Zealand within the 24-hour period of Wednesday. On Tuesday, prior to that, there were waterspout tornadoes in the Manukau Harbour. Now, that's just southwest of Auckland. So this weather pattern that's been coming across from the west, northwest, southwest kind of areas is absolutely, rocking New Zealand. Looking out there today, it's similar kind of clouds and rain patterns showing in the Auckland region at the moment. It's quite possible there'll be more thunderstorms. Certainly, as always, and we're being told to be always vigilant for these waterspouts or tornadoes forming. There were significant ones, I might add, Peter, in the harbour, in the Manukau Harbour on Tuesday. They were very big. If that hit land, we'd be reporting some serious.
So they are essentially a tornado, are they? But they're over the water on the harbour.
Yeah, they're a tornado, but they're sucking the water up from the harbour. So you wouldn't want to be out in your fizz boat out there when those things are going through.
No,
I can tell you.
no.
I've seen a few in the last 2 yees, so it's certainly a phenomenon that's getting more common, which is a concern. The Met Service said that there was what they referred to as a good cluster of lightning in the north part of the North Island. Apparently that's where most of it went off, and it must have been like fireworks day, you know. There was this absolutely lightening the place up. And that's eased off a little bit, but what they're saying here is for people to be vigilant. A couple of weeks ago, down in the Cambridge area, which is the Waikato region, it's about an hour and a half drive south of Auckland, a racehorse was killed in a lightning strike, and two workers in two different kind of spots in Cambridge were hit by the lightning and were knocked flat. So it's always a danger out here.
Yeah, indeed. Although I guess on the flip side, great for photographers, more opportunity to grab some fantastic images, I'm imagining, and there would have been some, I assume.
Oh, yes, there is. There's some amazing video of the lightning going off as well. So if people want to check that out, they should go to that newzealandherald.co.nz site. It's got some video on there that the public has put in. When I mentioned that two young men were knocked flat a few weeks ago by the lightning, they survived to tell the tale, and TV program interviewed them the next day, and they talked about their experience and saying how, you know, that their bones and all their muscles are still kind of aching, tingling from the experience. But got to point out that the racehorse that was standing next to one of the guys that was hit was killed outright.
Gee, it's frightening.
Yeah.
Mother Nature, she's a savage beast at times.
It certainly is.
Indeed. All right, Selwyn, thank you so much this morning, and we'll catch you again next week with some more news from your part of the world.
Okay, Peter.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Selwyn Manning in New Zealand, and livenews.co.nz has more. 5:28.
Bedford invites you to play Bedford Bingo. It's a great night out in a friendly atmosphere. It's inexpensive, fun, and who knows, you could win. It's also helping a worthy cause. Join players from all across Adelaide to play Bedford Bingo. Bedford Bingo. Have fun and help a worthy cause. For more information or to book a table, call 82750288, 82750288, or Google Bedford Bingo.
Bill, how long does it take to get a new piece of equipment?
Oh, it depends how quickly you can get the equipment financed. The time between signing the documents and getting your funds is usually 48 hours.
Oh.
I heard with CommBank it's only 4.
4 hours? Oh, that's pretty quick.
Yeah. Oh, why?
Because,